entire conversation, the majority of it has been, okay, tell everybody what they already know. The only new information that was presented to the characters present was, I found Master Sifo-Dyas' lightsaber. And then Yoda's just like, hey, Obi-Wan, remind us all of who Master Sifo-Dyas is and what he did. And then he's like, oh yeah, he ordered the Kaminoan clone army. And then, yes, and he did it without letting the council and the Senate know. Yes, he did that in secret. We didn't know about it. And he was on this council, and we took him off this council because we didn't like his ideas. Because, who needs an army? Well, turned it out, we needed an army. Oh, look at that. Like, it's just like, what is this? I'll be your alibi.
It is here. The data specifically states it is built to be.
All of our information pinpoints it is here.
That is it.
They're playing the pronoun game. It this, it that, it is here, that is it. Okay. But do they know what it is? Because the pronoun game is mostly annoying when they know who it is or like what it is, but like if they don't, then
The signal is from a ship thought to be lost and was last known to be in the possession of a Jedi Master.
Anakin would never have touched that lightsaber. He would have been like, sand, no.
The lightsaber of Sifo-Dyas it is.
Master Kenobi, remind the Council of what you discovered regarding Master Sifo-Dyas before the start of the Clone War.
The Kaminoans recounted that it was Jedi Master Sifo-Dyas who ordered the production of a clone army.
Without the consent of the Council or the Senate, he did this.
Prior to the blockade of Naboo, Sifo-Dyas sat on this council until we judged his ideas to be too extreme.
Indeed. He said he foresaw a great conflict, and that the Republic would need to raise an army. At the time, the Council rejected those ideas.
Well, it's not the first time we've been wrong recently, is it?
The creation of the clone army, kept secret from us, Sifo-Dyas did.
There are only council members present. This is entire conversation, the majority of it has been, okay, tell everybody what they already know. There is nobody present here for whom this information would be unknown. The only new information that was presented to the characters present was, I found Master Sifo-Dyas' lightsaber. And then Yoda's just like, hey, Obi-Wan, remind us all of who Master Sifo-Dyas is and what he did. And then he's like, oh yeah, he ordered the Kaminoan clone army. And then, yes, and he did it without letting the council and the Senate know. Yes, he did that in secret. We didn't know about it. And he was on this council, and we took him off this council because we didn't like his ideas. Because, who needs an army? Well, turned it out, we needed an army. Oh, look at that. Like, it's just like, what is this? Recount for us what happened in the movies that the little children watching this show may not have seen. And then we're just going to repeat ourselves a few times and tell everybody present what everybody here already knows. Dialogue. It's hard. It is hard. But this is like, okay, when you have millions of dollars, you can afford to pay good writers to write good things. So this should not be a thing.
I don't actually know what the budget for this show was.
Like, at least, like, $1 million per episode or something like that. Like, I don't even know. I'm spitballing here. You know what? No, let's... He ballparked that each episode's production cost around $1 million.
What the hell? What? No. There's no way that you could keep something like that going for even one season. $1 million? Get out of here.
Per episode.
Per episode. We're talking 20 shittily made episodes. All 20 minutes long. And that costs $1 million? Are you serious? No.
It's great.
Who would spend that much money on garbage? This show literally didn't matter.
$1 million of garbage fire glory.
No, seriously, how the hell did they spend $1 million for just one of these episodes?
They paid the animators more than the writers. The writers, they were just like, okay, just throw something together. Here's a few dollars. And the animators, they were like, now bring it to life in all of the Star Wars glory.
Except the animators did a crap job too. All across the board. Everyone on this production team did a crap job. With $1 million!
I know, I'm trying to be nice, but $1 million is a lot of money. But at the same time, you'd be shocked how much these things cost.
Why would Lucas invest that much? Like, he was going through the prequel backlash. The poor guy was miserable, and he just wanted to be done with Star Wars. Why would he invest that much money into it? Because, like, the first season alone, then, would cost, like, $22 million. Why was he forking that out when he didn't give a crap about Star Wars anymore?
It's possible that, like, because when was the third movie of the prequel trilogy released?
2005, I think?
Okay. So all the prequels had come out by the time this was made. Because I remember, it was the multimedia 2003 series that came out in between. Sorry, I got them mixed up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to do something for the heck of it. I mean, like, Star Wars is his creation. It's supposed to be his playground. And, like, he appreciated that people loved it. I mean, like, of course, as writers, as creators, when people love your work, then that's really encouraging. That's really great. But, like, at the same time, they kind of took it away from him, and maybe he just kind of wanted to do something with it still. But then Filoni took it away from him, so he ended up losing it anyway. Now I'm depressed. Thank you. This is great. Super fun. But yeah, I do know that, like, when it comes to production of something like this, it is a lot more expensive than we give these kind of projects credit for, because you've got all the equipment, you've got all the people, and you've got software, and there's just so many levels to it, right? Like, when I draw a picture, I'm the one doing all of it. But when you're making something like this, you've got one person, handling, like, creating the backgrounds, another person painting the backgrounds, and then you've got, one person, like, creating the characters, and then another person animating the characters, and then another person putting the lighting on the character. Like, there's just so many layers, and there's, like, so many people involved for each one of those layers. And then you put sound and everything else and voice acting all on top of that. All of these people need to get paid, and they need to get paid a fair amount. And so it really adds up really fast.
That makes me wonder, like, what was the budget for shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender? Okay, so they had about the same budget, but yeah, like, Avatar did so much better.
Any further information on this incident has been sealed.
On whose authority?
By the office of the Supreme Chancellor.
What? How does he have the authority to do that?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, because, like, the Jedi they're not under the Republic authority. They are their own words. There is a word for it. Nope, nothing. I got nothing. They're their own thing, okay? They are their own thing, and, like, they work with the Republic. They're part of the Republic, but they're not under the Republic authority, and this is their information on their people. How does the Chancellor just, like,
and, like, Jocasta is in charge of the records, so did he go to her and be like, "Hey, you should go seal this thing"? Yeah, I did go do that. And she was just like, "Okay." What? Don't make no sense.
Master Sifo-Dyas. Forgive me, I'm afraid I am not familiar with that name.
You're not familiar with the name which you ordered a seal on? You're not
Investigating his death we are. And yet, sealed by the Chancellor's office. Some of his files were.
And what is the nature of your investigation? May I at least ask when Master...
Sifo-Dyas.
Yes, Master Sifo-Dyas. May I ask when he was killed?
It's just kind of like, oh, who is this person? And, oh, well, that person that you had the record sealed on is this person, and we're just investigating. So if you don't know who this person is, then, why were the records sealed? And if it's just like, oh, well, somebody in the office must have done this, maybe you should investigate why people are using your office to do these things. And if you really don't know about it, then you should just be like, oh, I'm sorry, there must have been a misunderstanding, and I'll just, have that unsealed. But instead it's all like, oh, well, what are you investigating for? And how long ago? Please tell me all this information, because this person whose records were sealed by my office that I don't know at all, I'm super duperty interested. I know nothing about it, I swear. At least they had him be like, oh yes, my master, what was his name again? Sorry, I don't want to, missay it or whatever. But then in season 7, Maul's just like, oh, Ahsoka Tano, it's not a name that's familiar to me, that's why I know it. Said it perfectly. You couldn't have him be like Ahsoka Tano or like something like that, and then she just like gotta correct him or something, and oh yeah, well sorry, your name's not familiar to me, right? Like something to show that it's actually not familiar to him, instead of like, oh, I have to get her name perfectly because she's the fan favorite, but I don't know who she is.
Only my predecessor, Chancellor Valorum, would have the answers you seek.
It's Valorum. Get it right, you moron.
Okay, but also, like, yeah, talking to Chancellor Valorum tells you why it was sealed, but that's not going to get it unsealed because there's a new Chancellor. So the Chancellor is, like, not helpful at all. That's interesting, though, because, like, here I am saying, oh, well, you should know because, Chancellor's office, you're the Chancellor. But as an audience, I know that it's actually him behind it, right? I forgot that, yeah, at the time this happened, he wasn't the Chancellor. Obviously, he was involved. Must have done some sneaking, but it makes sense that, yeah, he can say, oh, I didn't know. I don't know what you're talking about, and it's not immediately suspicious because, yeah, Yoda doesn't know that he's a sneaky, and he wasn't the Chancellor back then. But the fact that Yoda's not like, oh yeah, I'll go talk to him, but could you just get those unsealed for us real quick, maybe, please? Like, before he goes, like, just that, which is like, come on. Because then Palpatine could easily just be like, oh, well, why don't you talk to Valorum first and I'll get in touch with him and, like, we'll decide whether we should have those unsealed or not, right? Like, just because you don't know about something that your predecessor did doesn't mean that you should just undo it. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for listening.
I've spoken with the tribal leaders on Felucia. They use a very ancient dialect which is hard to understand.
That's racist!
This is the primitive people we are dealing with.
Racist!
Did you have any success with the Chancellor?
As much success as usual, I am afraid.
But you didn't even ask him to get them unsealed. What the heck, dude? You didn't even try.
This is not the first time you have proven to be clumsy.
What was the first time? Was it Ventress?
I do remember that the talks were postponed not long after our delegates arrived on Obadiah.
Now we know Sifo-Dyas and Silman were both on Obadiah.
Obadiah? Do y'all have no consistency in how you pronounce things? Like, come on, at least try. Yeah, it literally went from Obadiah to Obadiah. Pick one and stick with it. Come on. It's not that hard.
Obadiah is a name. Obadiah is a planet. Did you see that? Kids show. Kids show?
I cannot remember the last time a Jedi came here.
Can you remember anything with how much drugs you're on?
What you found we know nothing of.
We don't know what you found, but we know that we don't know anything about it.
Sifo-Dyas was traveling with an advisor. They were sent here to negotiate with you.
To negotiate with him? Because didn't Maul kill his predecessor when they were taking over everything? I forget. This show is just so memorable.
The man you are looking for is here.
Well, that was easy.
Tyrannus wanted Sifo-Dyas dead. The Pikes were well paid to shoot down his ship. The Pikes gave Tyrannus Sifo-Dyas, but the Pikes did not tell Tyrannus of Silman. The Pikes needed insurance, and now the Pikes can bargain.
After 10 years. That was really so important to them that they held on to this guy for 10 years. Just in case we need to bargain, you know. What?
We give you Silman. You forget about the Pikes' treachery against the Jedi.
Here's this random dude. Now forget about the fact that we, like, shot down a ship and killed a Jedi.
Jedi? To find me? Why me? I was betrayed. Forgotten. Long ago. Thank you, my friend. A supply bar.
I am so sorry for Silman. It's just hard to see.
Sifo-Dyas. He died. Died.
Okay, I really, really want all those bugs off of him.
Who was responsible?
Someone powerful. Someone who wanted to be Sifo-Dyas.
Wait, does Silman know then that Sifo-Dyas was a traitor's Jedi?
Can't you see? Because...
Oh, great. We're gonna have another let-up moment.
Did you see Anakin and Obi-Wan's body language? They weren't going like... This just shows how stupid the supposed proof of Ahsoka killing Leia, like that whole thing, the absurdity of it all. Also, Dooku's face.
I think that's the only time we've ever seen him smile. It's terrifying and I never want to see it again. But, yeah, at least they weren't doing the stupid thing with their hands. But they also weren't doing anything, and are you telling me they didn't sense Dooku come up right behind them? So stupid. He's killing people left, right, and center. They're not sensing anything. He's coming, like, he's right behind them, and it's just like, we don't sense the dark side at all. No, there's nothing wrong here. This person's getting force choked. Let's just stand here. Do nothing. Here's the other thing. He didn't know about Silman.
Why do the Jedi look for Sifo-Dyas? What trail are they following?
If there is a trail, it is unknown to me.
But he knows to come straight here, go straight there, and like he literally just arrived and went straight there. Didn't go talk to the head honcho first. Right? Because, like, it makes sense for him to come here because he's retracing his steps like Palpatine told him to.
Retrace your steps. Find this loose end and eliminate it.
But it would make sense for him to go to the head honcho first and, like, deal with him in order to find out about... Unless he was able to sense Anakin and Obi-Wan and they couldn't sense him... And so then he just followed his sense of them because he's like, okay, I'm gonna have to deal with them first. Or maybe they're already found this loose end that I missed. Yeah, Obi-Wan, just stand behind him and twirl your lightsaber a little bit. Don't actually, like, engage. Now he's doing better, but, like, it's just, what are you doing?
You have no business left with the Pikes Tyrannus.
Tyrannus? You are the man called Tyrannus?
Didn't they already know that his Sith name was Tyrannus?
Thank you, Kate, but you didn't help the guy you should have been protecting. Are you freaking serious? I am so disappointed in Obi-Wan and Anakin. WTF. Really. Oh, but they're not gonna try and do it again.
I'll give you a push.
Oh, here we go. Why don't we see these kind kinds of force moves more often.
Again, Anakin and Dooku fighting when they should not be. What, you couldn't pull yourself up? Are you serious?
Our enemy created an army for us.
If this was known, public confidence in the war effort, the Jedi, and the Republic would vanish.
Cover up this discovery. We must. Valiant men the clones have proven to be. Save my life and yours. They have many times. Believe in them. We must.
Are you sure we are taking the right path?
The right path? No. The only path. Yes.
What? What? No! This is not the fucking only path! This is so stupid! You literally just had an arc where it was like, oh, something has been put inside of every single clone that makes them violent toward Jedi. Now we find out that the Sith were involved in the creation of all of the clones. Trust in the clones we must. We're just gonna cross our fingers until this is all over because we like these guys, you know? They saved our lives a couple times, right? So, like, I understand the part about, like, not telling anybody, but, like, do some precautionary planning here. Maybe trust the clones a little bit less. Maybe kind of pull yourself away from being surrounded by clones all the time and etc, etc, etc. Use the buddy system or something. I don't know. But like, this is so stupid. Just like insane levels of stupid. Why does he make them so stupid? Because Filoni loves to shit on Star Wars. I just love it. I don't love it! I don't love it!
Kinda makes you want to stab someone in the eye, actually.
Not me. Please.
Press it to play.
Press it to play.
Press it to play.
Press it to play.
Set it on fire.
Oof, set it on fire.
And then watch it burn. Watch it burn.
What is lost is often found. Tell that to the little gray baby mitten that I lost when my daughter was a baby and have still not found. And I am very mad about that because I have this thing for matching pairs and it bugs me to this day. I don't know what happened to it. I put it in the laundry and it never came out of the laundry. I need help.
So what you're saying is that the laundry ate it. Sounds legit.
I was getting distracted by somebody being like, turn the volume up, turn the volume down, turn the volume down, turn the volume down.